Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how you can pull an XPM group into StructureGram and have it visualized on a diagram. So you'll notice that when your account is connected to Xero, there are a few Xero buttons on the screen. The one you're going to want to press is this XPM Sync Hub button. So we're taken to this page where we've got a few different options. So we have a two-way sync with XPM, meaning you can import groups from XPM, but you can also export groups from StructureGram to XPM and create the data in XPM that way. So it'll automatically be selected on import, as that's probably what you're wanting to do most often. And then step 2 is just selecting the group that you want to bring in. So I've got this Mercer family, and then I just hit pull data. So depending on how large the group is in XPM, this could take a little bit longer, maybe 20 seconds to a minute. But for smaller groups like this one with only 10 to 15 entities, it only takes about 5 seconds. So then most likely you're taken to this review screen. And the reason why you need to review some entities and relationships before they get pulled into StructureGram is because XPM doesn't allow you to capture certain details that you're going to want to see on the diagram to get the whole picture. For example, you can create trusts in XPM, but you can't specify a trust type by default. So StructureGram will ask you to do that. It will give you a bit of help by making some determinations for you, so we can see it's deemed that this trust based on the name is most likely discretionary, but I can change that if it's incorrect. And for ones that are a little bit more ambiguous or the system's not 100% sure about, you just need to come in here and select the trust type manually. For these relationships, these shareholder relationships, you can create or you can assign a share class in StructureGram. So just by hitting this drop down and then adding a new class or choosing an existing class. But since ordinary shares is most common, the system will automatically select ordinary shares. Once you're happy with your selections, you just hit continue, and those entities and relationships will now be pulled into StructureGram. I note you might need to do that review screen a few times if the group's quite large, because I think it only shows you about 9 or 10 entities and relationships at a time. But you'll know that all of those entities and relationships have been pulled in once you get to a screen like this where there's nothing left to review. So we can see that 12 entities have been imported from XPM, as well as the 25 relationships. So I can double check that by going into, well, first I need to go into groups and make sure that this group that I've just pulled in here is set to active. And now that will scope the data I see in these pages here on the left. So if I go into individuals, we can see the 4 individuals for this group I just pulled in. Same with the companies, and I could go through the rest of these pages, but the data's all in there. So now I want to visualize this group on a canvas. So I go to the diagrams page and hit create. We've got a whole nother video on creating diagrams and the actions you can take once you're in the diagram in another video. So I'll just do this quickly. So hit create, and there we go. Now we can see that that diagram has been laid out for us by StructureGram. So we didn't need to create any of those entities and relationships manually, and we didn't need to organize them on the diagram. The system's done all of that for us. So if you do want to learn more about what you can do once you get up to this point, just watch the next video in this playlist, which is about auto layout, entities, and settings.